Hey, this is Amanda with The Fundamental Home, and today I'm coming to you with this week's question from the Virtual Homeschool Co-op, which is how do you schedule your school year? Do you do that with the school system, or do you do it year-round, or is there some other way? Well, as you probably know, I definitely do not school year-round. Now, that's kind of true and it's kind of not true. We are homeschoolers. And that pretty much just means that we are educating our children at home. And there is some form of education going on in our household every single day of the year. You know, there is always something going on that I feel is definitely something that I would consider schooling or educating my children. That being said, when you're talking formal schoolwork, like sitting down with the textbook, sitting down with the workbook, that I really try to limit to the 180 days that our state requires. Now, even when we lived in another state which didn't require a certain number of days, I kept to 180 days because I thought in my mind that we needed 36 weeks of 5 days each week, and I thought that was a really great goal to shoot for. And of course, those were my earlier homeschooling years when I was much more strict on the things that I did. As we've gone further on down the line, had we been in a different state, maybe I wouldn't have been so strict about the 180 days, but we are required to do it here, so that is what we do. And usually we go a couple days over because there's usually something that we want to finish up, or, you know, just wrap up and get together and make it official. So we're usually right around the 180 day mark depending on what we're doing. But some years it's just straight 180 days and that's it. So, and I really try not to go too much over it because we all need a break. You know, we need some time to not be sitting and focused on workbooks and books and computers, because I mean a lot of times it's computers now. So we just need to get out and do some different things. And so one of the things that I have done in the past, which is kind of schooling in the summer but kind of isn't, is we used to focus on PE in the summer. And if you go to thefundamentalhome.com, I actually have laid out, I think it's a 9-week PE plan. And I sat down and figured out, I think if you did like 3 hours a day for 9 weeks, it was the equivalent of a half-hour, 45-minute, maybe even an hour-long PE class for the entire 180 days of the school year. So I've already mapped all that out. I actually made it last year based on some things that we'd done in previous years, so I don't remember all the details. If you want to check that out, I'm going to link you down below to where you can find the first lesson in that. And that'll help you get some ideas of how you can do PE in the summer. But a lot of times what we're doing is much more simple. We are going to do our library summer program. Most libraries have a summer program, summer reading program. We've done that every year for as long as I can remember. In fact, when I was a kid, I remember doing the summer reading program. So that's something that we do pretty regularly. We like to go swimming. That's something we like to spend a lot of time doing in the summer. And there are just other activities that we try to keep ourselves involved in because it's summertime. And of course, in the past year or two, we've been focusing on learning homesteading skills as part of our homeschool. So you're talking about gardening and canning, and we've butchered chickens, just different kind of homesteading skills that we focused on learning. And all of that is in the summertime, and I think has educational value and could certainly be part of a regular school year. That being said, so taking all of that and calling it extra and saying we stop at 180 formal days, do we do it with the school year? No, we do not. We kind of create our own school year. I usually sit down and figure out a calendar at the beginning of the year, and most of the time we stick to it, but sometimes we don't. One year my kids had the flu and they were off for 6 weeks in the middle of it. And I think that was, that might have been Brian's senior year, and he had to go to school on Saturdays and maybe even Sundays just to get his 180 days in before the time he wanted to graduate. So sometimes it's the schedule that I plan is thrown off, but we do try to keep to my original schedule. This past year, Ricky, who wanted to graduate early, did not even take a summer break. He ended his formal 11th grade year in May, I think, last year, and then immediately started his 12th grade year. And he went 7 days a week, getting his formal work done until he got to his 180 days and knocked it out and finished his last year and was a graduate. So it just kind of, we kind of plan it out and roll it out at the beginning of each year. But as a general rule, it's not with the school system. I usually start now. I used to start in August and get done in like April, but that was just way too early for us because there really wasn't much to enjoy to do in April. So now we usually wait to start till September, and that way we get more of our summer in. And we start at the beginning of September and roll right around through May. And so we're actually done with this particular school year already. Not sure if you guys are or not. But we just wrapped up testing for this year, and it went really well. In fact, I plan to do a video on our test results here very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. But if you have not, make sure you check out my other homeschooling videos. I'm going to link it here. I'm like, where am I pointing? Over here. I'm going to link you up here to all of my other homeschooling videos if you want to check those out. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. So thank you guys in the Virtual Homeschool Co-op. I will be checking you all out and seeing how you are schooling your children. If you want more information about the Virtual Homeschool Co-op, you can look, let's see, over here, and I'll link you to the Virtual Homeschool Co-op, and you can figure out how it works. And if you want to add your videos to the mix, by all means you should, because we love seeing how other homeschoolers are working and taking care of their children in their homeschool. So that is it. You guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!